who is the NPP National Youth Organizer, to help us appreciate what the party has in store for the young people. On the other line will be NDC's Osman Ayariga, who is the Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NDC. They launched what we call the Youth Manifesto. Good evening, Salam Mustafa. Happy to have you join us tonight on Point Blank on Eyewitness News. Just clarify for us. So the NPP has just one manifesto. It doesn't have a youth manifesto as the NDC does, right?
Thank you very much, Salam. Good evening to you and your listeners. The NPP has one manifesto. Let's make that very clear, which encompasses everything the NPP envisages to do, which includes the youth. So even though we have the youth component of the manifesto, it's part of the broader document that codifies into one simple document, which the NPP is signing as a social contract with the Ghanaian people. So we have one simple document.
Very well, that's fine. So what does the NPP see as the most important issue confronting the young people of Ghana today?
Jobs. If you listen to the Black Bear very, very well, he takes on the issue of job creation very, very seriously. The state of the Ghanaian youth, where we are and where we need to go. So he makes it very clear that he needs to prepare the Ghanaian youth for the fourth industrial revolution, which is inevitable. About 3-4 days ago, I read a piece of news item relative to, I think, Amazon, where 12,500 people have been laid off work due to the influence of the coming fourth industrial revolution. So clearly, every country should begin to prepare its young following, especially for this eventuality. So Dr. Baumia makes it very, very, emphatic that he's going to make sure that we prepare the young, people for the fourth industrial revolution. He makes the further point that he would train 1 million young people in ICT coding, software development, and all that. Today, if you look at India has become a world titan as far as technology is concerned. They didn't achieve that, on a silver platter. It was through very careful preparation of the country to think towards that direction. And it's exactly the same mindset that the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, is thinking, that if we begin to prepare our people now, we will certainly, be absorbed in the fourth industrial revolution, where Ghanaians can even play a much bigger role. It will not be out of place to see Ghanaian youth, living in Ghana here and, doing big things in India, Silicon Valley in the United States, and the rest of the world. So he's quite, very, very particular about it. Now, if you take the issue of job creation, which the flag bearer takes very, very seriously, you see, this is not about a senseless policy of 133, where you cannot tell where the jobs are going to come from. The existing ones is what you want to reshuffle. That's not how, empowering youth, work. That's not the way to develop, young people. We have
and you call that the 133 referring to the 24-hour economy policy. You call that senseless?
A policy that the originators cannot explain is senseless. It's senseless. If they can, they should explain it.
But that's why they talked about 133. They say one job will be done by 3 people in 3 different shifts. So that's 133.
Yeah, Salam, I don't know if you understand it. Do you understand it yourself? It's a very senseless policy. And that's why they're struggling very, very hard to give a definite explanation to it. The flag bearer says something different. The chairman and all the actors say different things at different points. That's what makes it a very, useless policy that they cannot even explain. But that's not what they're talking about.
Very well. Let me speak to your colleague on the other side. I mean, just to bring him into the discussion. Osman Ayariga is a Deputy National Youth Organizer. Osman, welcome to the program. Like I asked your colleague, Salam, what does the NDC see as the most important matter confronting the youth of Ghana today?
Thank you very much, Salom, and good evening to you, good evening to your cherished listeners, and good evening to the youth of this country, good evening to Salam, and of course, good evening to the 1.9 million unemployed youth of this country who are listening to both of us and listening to the NPP that has disappointed Ghanaians woefully. The issues that confront young people in this country is all about employment. If you have a certain government, which, of course, its head of economic management team was Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, who mismanaged this economy, and at the time they took over the affairs of this country, you had unemployment rate hovering around 8%, and today unemployment rate is hovering around 14%, and these people still have the moral right to come back and be making any more promises. Then it's an apology coming from such a government. So the youth of this country are woefully disappointed in this government. And of course, they will show them the exit. Now, with the issues of the promises coming from the NPP and what they seek to do, I mean, if my brother Salam really reads wide, and you know, the good Bible in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6 says, "For lack of knowledge, my people perish." If Salam really reads wide, he will know that the promises they are making today in their own NPP manifesto were captured way back in the NDC's manifesto in 2020. And I'll read to you page 84 of the NDC's 2020 manifesto, bullet point 3, 1 million coders program. And it reads, this initiative will be implemented through a public-private partnership to provide free training to 1 million youth with knowledge and skills for A, coding and programming, B, web development, apps development, etc. C, expand opportunities in the knowledge and ICT-based economy. So you would realize that this is an extraction that the NPP has just copied excerpts of the manifesto of the NDC that we even put in our manifesto way back in 2020. So what we knew in 2020, the NPP is now copying it in 2024. And that's what I'm saying, that if people like Salam read, they would have advised their people in the NPP that, come on, what we are about to promise has already been promised by the NDC. But of course, this is a government that prides itself in plagiarism and copying. For the first time, we saw the president read a whole speech that parts of it were plagiarized from another president.
Very well.
Now,
so
the next thing I want to speak about,
quickly.
I heard him say the issue of the 24-hour economy has not been explained properly. I don't expect someone like Salam to understand 24-hour economy when we explain it to him, because he has refused to even read to know that they copied parts of the NDC's manifesto. The good people of this country who are discerning and understand know that the game changer is the 24-hour economy. And they know that what it means is that we are going to run a 24-hour system where even where there is one job, it's going to have 3 shifts and it will end up employing 3 people. For people who understand review to mean calculation, I don't expect Salam to understand.
No, I think his question was that, are you going to be recycling the same jobs, or you are going to create new jobs? I think that was the question. So if you can just address that.
What do you mean by recycling jobs and creating jobs? That is the question he himself doesn't understand. The 24-hour economy, as we explained it, one, is going to lead to expansion of more companies, and it's going to lead to creation of more jobs. That is the first thing. And the already existing jobs, which are already going through a 1-shift system, will now end up going through a 3-shift system. Tell them, if you have a company that goes through a 1-shift system, employing 100 people, and now it's going to go through a 3-shift system, employing 300 people, how do you understand that to mean recycling? So you see, when I come back to tell my brothers in the NPP that they don't read, so because of that, when we speak, they refuse to understand, and some don't also understand when we speak. They may get offended, but that is a fact. How can a 3-shift system to you mean recycling?
Very well. Let me bring in Salam. So Salam, you call it 1 million jobs, or 1 million young people will be trained with digital skills. The NDC says that they will train 1 million people, 1 million youth coders. You know, almost saying the same thing. But apart from the coding or the digital side of things, what else do we have for the young people in respect of jobs, Salam?
Thank you very much, Selo. Osman, is my younger brother. You should have gotten, George Opayado himself, who is my colleague, to
no, I don't think it matters. So just stay on message. I don't think it matters.
I won't be arrogant to say that he's not qualified to debate with
no,
you.
He's a trained lawyer, so you have to grant him that.
It doesn't matter. I am equally well educated.
So I'm saying that doesn't matter. So let's just engage on the issues.
You asked him a question, and clearly you can deduce the confusion in his head. The same point he himself is struggling to explain. But to move forward, we didn't copy anything. There's nothing the NDC has that we can copy. There's nothing extraordinary, from the NDC. They've shown that over the period. So there's nothing we in the NPP would take, from the NDC. The issue of training 1 million people, go back to our manifesto. For 2020, we mentioned it, and the flag bearer has been talking about digitalization for a very, very long time and training young people in ICT. So it has nothing to do with the NDC at all. Then going into job, creation, if you look at the broad strategy of creating new jobs, especially in the mining industry alone, it tells you that the NPP understands a certain new direction that the country needs to chart. So we are talking of bringing on board a minerals development a bank where young people, largely the mining industry is full of young people, where young people can get training through the district mining committees that we are going to create, do proper mining without having to go to China, to look for Chinese to come in and bring machines and indulge in galamsey and all that. If you see what we intend to do with the upcoming extraction of bauxite, you would see that a lot of jobs are going to be created. MEF is already making so much investment in, infrastructure for the aluminium industry and also the extraction of other minerals like silicon. A lot of things are going to happen where a lot of jobs are going to be created, proper jobs for the Ghanaian youth to do. If you look at the MPP's mindset, we believe in creating decent, well-paying jobs than, say, you recycle, old jobs where you do not know where new ones are going to come from. Indeed, because of free, education, free SHS, the number of people who go to school, have doubled. And it has impacted in the level of number of people looking for employment. And that is why you need a serious thinking person, someone who is a problem solver, someone who understands the current situation to lead, not somebody who was, in despair himself. John Dramani Mahama had thrown up his hands in despair and told the youth of this country that he was not a magician to provide jobs and that he couldn't provide jobs. And that his alternative, to job creation was that the young people of this country should go and cut grass and gather stones and sell.
I'm not sure he said that. Somebody else said that. I'm not sure he said that. I'm not sure he said.
The person was a minister under John Dramani Mahama. John Dramani Mahama should have come to say that. No, what we said, I rebuke it, and that is not a serious.
But they said these are for unskilled people.
So unskilled people. I am saying that you will not find anybody in the NPP, moot such a useless, suggestion. We are working very hard to ensure that we provide jobs for the youth of this country.
Very well.
Let me also state.
We are running out of time. Just
let me state shortly. This government has provided and created in the excess of 2 million jobs. The last count, 2.3 million jobs. And these are verifiable from state contributions. So we are not just churning out data. And the comprehensive job we seek to create within the next 4 years from all the sectors that we have mentioned in our manifesto, the collective ability to create jobs runs into about 3 million new jobs.
Very well.
That we need to create in the next 4 years under the presidency of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Great, thanks so much, Salam. So, Osman, you have the final word on this. Apart from digitization or the coding program, in 1 minute, tell us what else the NDC is promising the young people.
Salam, if I heard my brother Salam very well, he spoke about the fact that it's in the NPP's manifesto. And I tell you that my brother Salam and the NPP, they don't read even their own manifesto. They haven't read it. I have read the NPP's manifesto back to back, and I haven't seen anywhere in their 2020 manifesto the NPP promising to train 1 million coders or 1 million youth in digitization.
Yeah, so if we can just move on to the next,
it's not there. So I just
next set of things you have for the young people.
The fact there.
Yeah.
Salam, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is promising the youth and the good people of this country jobs through coding, that we are going to train 1 million youth in coding. Quite apart from that, not only are we focusing on coding, we are also focusing on agriculture. How do we create an enabling agricultural environment for young people to go into agriculture? We are going to form what we call the Farmers Service Center that will provide inputs, provide incentives, provide training for young people who want to go into agriculture. Again, we are also having the tax incentives and tax reduction for young people or youth who want to go into business. Above all, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, is saying that he's going to create an enabling economic environment for businesses to thrive. This Bawumia, Salam's own Bawumia, who promised us that he was going to manage this economy, who promised us good inflation rate. Today, inflation is at a double digit, and it went to its all-time high, 50-something%. Today, it is at 20-something%, and they are saying that we should applaud them for bringing inflation to 21%. Today, the exchange rate is at 17 Ghana cedis to the dollar. Today, businesses cannot thrive. Energy is expensive. The cost of doing business is expensive. And Salam still has the guts and the temerity to come out and tell young people to go out and vote for the NPP. It's an apology. And I send this message across that if you are an NPP youth and after 7 years, 8 months, you are still unemployed and you are still shouting, it is possible, then you are an apology. You are an apology. You need to rethink, you need to recalibrate, and you need to join the train of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to building the Ghana you and I want to be in. So, Salam, the manifesto of the NDC in its composite form will be launched on this Saturday.
Very well.
At the Winneba University. So what we just did was the Youth Manifesto.
The Youth Manifesto.
And
That's
after
clear.
the Youth Manifesto,
yes,
the NPP's manifesto cannot even match that of the Youth Manifesto.
Very well.
Clear.
Thank you so much.
Everybody can see.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Osman
you
Ayariga,
so much,
Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NDC, and you had also Salam Mustafa, who is a MPP Youth Organizer.